Mastering modal verbs. Unpacking could and couldn't. Hello learners! Today, we'll dive deep into the intriguing world of modal verbs, focusing on how we can use could and couldn't when giving or asking for advice. Understanding how to properly utilize these verbs will dramatically improve both your written and spoken English. Modal verbs are helping or auxiliary verbs that express necessity, possibility, permission, or ability. Today, our focus is on could, which is typically used to express possibility or suggest an action. Remember, could is the past tense of can, but when giving advice, it's often used in the present tense to make suggestions or give advice in a less direct, more polite way. For example, if you're advising someone on a healthier lifestyle, you might say, "You could try eating more vegetables and exercising regularly." The usage of could here suggests a possible course of action, but does not force it on the listener. Now, let's consider couldn't. It's the negative form of could, and it generally indicates the impossibility of something in the past. However, in the context of giving advice, couldn't is often used to dissuade someone from a course of action or to strongly advise against something. For instance, if a friend is considering a course of action that you think is unwise, you might say, "You couldn't possibly think that's a good idea." Here, couldn't is used to express strong disagreement or advice against a certain action. When asking for advice, could and couldn't can also be used. They offer a polite and indirect way of seeking suggestions. For example, you might ask, "What could I do to improve my English?" Or, if you're contemplating a decision and want to consider the negatives, you might ask, "What couldn't I do if I decide to move abroad?" The best way to master the use of could and couldn't in giving and asking for advice is through practice. Try to incorporate them in your daily conversations and written communication. Think of different scenarios where you could give advice or ask for it, and frame sentences using these modal verbs. For instance, think about a friend who needs advice on studying more effectively. How would you use could to give them advice? You could try studying in short bursts, rather than long hours. And there we have it. I hope this video has given you a clearer understanding of how to use could and couldn't when giving or asking for advice. With consistent practice, you'll find that these modal verbs become a natural part of your English communication. Remember, language learning is a journey, so take it step by step. Happy learning, and see you in the next video.